These are the 5 documents that you need if you want to run a successful yoga retreat. Welcome, my name is Nina Sachs. I am a yoga teacher trainer, and a yoga health coach. And I have been doing yoga retreats for over 10 years now. I have made plenty of mistakes in that time, and I have also figured out what is working well. So if you are a budding yoga teacher, if you are a yoga teacher or planning on becoming a yoga teacher, and you plan on running a retreat, these are the 5 documents I would highly recommend that you start spending a little bit of time on creating and ensuring that you then send out to your students. So let's get to it. Document number 1, very easy one, is an info pack. Or not very easy. This is probably the one that is the most time consuming to create, but you want to have an info pack. If it is 2 pages, if it is 5 pages, if it is 10 pages, you can use something like Canva to create it. Very, very easy. But put all the information in there that your potential retreat attendee is going to need and could possibly ask you about. So you want to pop all of that into your info pack so that you don't have to have these messages going back and forth, that you can literally just send them the info pack and say, check page 2, answer is on page 2. All right, so otherwise you're going to be spending a lot of time going back and forth answering questions. So create an info pack where you have, even if it needs to be updated when you have the final information. But so for example, the schedule, maybe you don't have the exact schedule, but maybe you know that it's going to be a yoga retreat where there's going to be like morning and evening yoga, and that there's lots of free time in the middle. Maybe you know that there's already a schedule where they're going to be like a lot of workshops, like it's a workshopping retreat where there's something happening like every hour. Then at least you can put that. You don't have to say exactly what the workshops are, but you can just give the structure of how it's looking. All right, so that's your number 1 info pack. Number 2 is registration form. And in the registration form, you're going to have all those things of like the person's personal details, emergency contact details. You can also put in there kind of like their accommodation choices, if they want shared accommodation or private accommodation. You can pop in there the pricing option of what they choose. And you could do this in a separate one, or you could do it in the same one, kind of like their dietary needs, as in like, are there any dietary things that you need to be made aware of, allergies that you need to be made aware of? So you can put all of that in your registration form. And then the next part, depending on if you have other yoga teachers on your retreat or if it's just you, but kind of like that disclaimer form. That's it. So you might have to have it separate just so that other teachers can see, okay, the disclaimer, and if the person has any injuries or ailments. And also because we are now so digitally orientated, you probably also want to have a disclaimer in there about taking pictures and using pictures on your social media so that you can promote your next retreat. So you want to be able to take pictures when you are on retreat of everyone doing beautiful yoga postures, and maybe being outdoors and enjoying meals together and just showing the community vibe, and just making sure that there's a disclaimer there that people are signing that say, yes, you are allowed to use that with pictures of them in there. So that is key. And that could be a separate form, or you can just add that into your registration form, depending if you are a solo teacher doing a retreat or if you're going to be doing it with other teachers. All right. If this is being helpful, if this is helping you so far, please do consider giving this video a thumbs up. It just helps other people like you find it, and it shows your support. So thank you so much for doing that. Number 3, the third document that I would suggest having is directions. So wherever the retreat is going to be, sometimes, especially if you are in South Africa or in Africa, GPS coordinates don't always give the exact correct location or the way to get there. So many venues actually say, at the blue hut, turn left, once you've gone 20 Ks, you're going to go down and to the right. So whatever it is, you may the way that you can make as a suggestion, like have your lunch stop here on there, that you know of. So have a document where you have directions that your potential retreat attendee can just print out and take with them. All right. That is the 3rd document. The 4th document that I have found is always really, really helpful in having in my drive is a list of what to pack, kind of like a checklist for people. People love this. You wouldn't think that as adults that we need this, but it's like, when we went to school camp and you had to like have that checklist, you just create a really simple checklist. Like, have you got your yoga mat? Have you got your slippers? Have you got comfy clothing? Have you got your toothbrush? Have you got your sunscreen? Have you got your hat? Like whatever it is that you're needing. Maybe you're going to be at the beach. So it's like, bring your beach towel. All the things that you can think of that a person should possibly bring with, especially when it comes to their yoga equipment that you want them to bring on the retreat. Maybe it's an extra blanket, maybe it's an eye mask, maybe it's a yoga strap or belt. And you can put that down, and it just helps a person get excited and prepare for the retreat so that they can already kind of like a week before get their suitcase ready and start putting all those things in there. It really just starts to build a little bit more anticipation and excitement. And it is something that is really, really helpful for, again, your retreat attendees to have. All right, so remember that not just is that important, but I also have a 10 habits Ayurvedic like checklist for you that you are welcome to download. You're also welcome to share it with your retreat attendees. So just check the descriptions below, go grab that link, head to it and download the PDF, and it'll show you like the 10 Ayurvedic habits that you can start doing and implementing right now to bring you back to balance, which are really lovely habits to do, especially before you go on a yoga retreat. All right, so for all your yoga teachers, go grab that one. And then the fifth one that I love to post is having that schedule that everyone can download, and that is then updated. So I often have like a rough schedule in the info pack, and then I have the actual like live updated schedule as a separate Google Docs sheet. And in there, I'll just be like, okay, this person is now coming on retreat and they're teaching this training or this workshop, and that is just updated live. Maybe one of your teachers has gotten sick and needs to fall out. And so then you can replace that with someone else. And so that is kind of like a very live working document. And it gives a person, again, an idea as to who is going to be on the retreat, who's going to be hosting what workshops, what kind of workshops they can expect to enjoy on the retreat. So those are my 5 documents for you. Please take the time to create them. I house all of mine in a Google Docs folder. If you're not a huge fan of Google Docs and you don't want kind of like Google to have people's information, then you can use other softwares out there. You might just have to pay for them, but there are other softwares out there that you can create surveys and forms on. But I literally house everything in Google Docs. And so when someone has a question or someone is ready to register and enroll, I literally just send them the Google Drive link and all the information is in there. They've got the info pack, they've got the registration form, they've got the disclaimer, they've got the directions that they can download, they've got their packing list, and then they've got that schedule as well. So if this is, again, helpful, thanks for that thumbs up. And I'm sure that you are going to be hosting a yoga retreat. If you are, make sure you watch the next video, which is all about my 1 key thing that you need to be doing after every single retreat. I'll see you there. Take care. Bye.